Alright, I'm at my new base camp that I'm setting up. Not a whole lot to it. Brought my chair back here. And I'm starting a Dakota fire pit. I had originally wanted to have it down here, where that big rock is. But since we're in a marsh area, that's a low-lying area, and basically right about that level is where the water table is. And we're in a drought right now, so if it gets wetter, that area down there will fill up. So we're considerably higher up here, about 4 feet higher. The water won't get up here, so it won't fill in that fire pit. I plan on setting up my hammock on this tree and this tree. And then I can put my chair up there on that high spot and let the fire come up through it if there's a lot of mosquitoes in the summer. The only thing I'm worried about is this huge pine, which is mostly dead. Broke off over there already. And there's a walkway I made across the treetop going down that way. Doesn't really go anywhere, but you can walk out on that. However, like I said, I'm starting this Dakota, but this is all just like pebbles and rocks mixed in with the dirt. And all I have is this little folding metal hand trowel. So it's going to take a while to get through that. And essentially what I plan on doing is just digging a trench. Probably about, I'd like to get as close to 16, 18 inches as possible. About 2 feet long. And I'll probably take that rock or another big rock like it, wedge it right in the middle of the trench, and that'll separate the two halves of the fire pit, provided it doesn't crack or explode, which it probably will because it's been sitting in water. But I can make do. Probably wouldn't be possible to dig the hole with the tunnel the way you normally do with this type of soil. So I'm just going to do my trench setup with jam a rock and it'll accomplish the same thing. I was lucky enough to find some items out here. Big pill bottle, which is probably used for marijuana or something from some campers that were out here. And I found that by this pot. And it's a pretty good pot. I mean, think about if you were stranded in the wild and you came across a pot like this. I actually saw an episode of, I think it was Naked and Afraid, and they were in the swamp and they found a pot, and I was like, yeah, right, how would you ever find a metal container in the middle of the swamp? But I did the exact same thing, and it's good. It's just slightly bent around the rim, but everything else is fine. Mosquito. And decent little pot, so I just brought it to my camp just to have it, because why not? It's out here, it's free. Like I said, another container, that's actually a sealable container, so I could put tinder and stuff in there and keep it out here and always have dry tinder. It's a pretty good spot, actually. It's shady, there's high ground, there's low ground, there's big trees, fallen tree, lots of dry deadfall around here. There's water basically everywhere. There's a stream over here, and there's some smaller streams which have varying degrees of flowing and clear water. Some of it's pretty nasty, but actually just right over here, maybe 20 feet away is a pretty decent little stream, so I use that to wash the pot out. You can see it's all just thorn vines and marsh vegetation around here. I just cut myself a hole in it. I'll probably take this chair, set it up there, and I'll be up on the high ground. I can look out over everything. So we'll do a follow-up again on the camp and show the update on the fire pit and how that's coming. Okay, we finally got the hole dug out here. I wanted to go a little deeper, but I started hitting these tree roots and it just became a pain in the butt, so I'm gonna just settle with this. We've got 2 big rocks here and I've got some smaller ones. So what I'm gonna do is create a sort of a base for the big rocks to sit on. And basically our air channel is going to flow right under here. We want that to be pretty good because we don't want that to get clogged, which will have a tendency to do. You can always come back once all these sticks are burnt out and dig this out again. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to offset it about 2/3 to 3/4 to one side. It doesn't have to be half and half. You honestly kind of want a flat rock to be on the bottom there. I don't really have a balanced surface to put these on, so it's not going to be ideal. Do something like this. Doesn't seem to fit too good. That fits pretty good. You feel under there. And don't have a whole lot of room for air, but you don't really need a whole lot. Take some other smalls and kind of fill in the sides as best I can. And we got our big one. And it'll kind of go right on top. And really we need some more to put over here. Big ones are kind of hard to come by around these parts. I don't see any just laying around. So we'll take a look here and see what we can come up with. That one's okay size. There's a big one. Right in the middle of all these thorns. This is going to be painful. Ow, it's already sticking me. That one's too far embedded in the ground. That sucks. We got that one. And we could probably make do here, I would imagine. See, this isn't really good fill dirt, which sucks. Because you kind of want that to be filled in as best you can. Without filling in the hole underneath. And I could take my pot that I have and get some water and get this all muddy. That may be in the cards for later. And really, see that stump right there, this root, that's a problem. That'll burn out. So I'll probably just have a small fire in here to start out, get that burn out. So it's kind of more open the way it had to be built on this hill. It's not just because normally you just want it to there, not coming out this far. But it'll still work. So I'll probably end up getting a bigger rock to fill in here. But we'll take a look at it later once I get it going. Alright, we got this thing loaded up. We're just going to do a real small fire here. And I've just piled dead sticks in there with a big old pine cone right in the middle. Got a small container here which has some dryer lint and Vaseline in it. And I'm just going to use a small amount. See if I can get it going with that. And what I'll do is just individually take some leaves, dry leaves, and just duff that's sitting up here. And just kind of put that right in there. Just give this ember a bed to sit on. And normally you want your stuff to burn up through your tinder, but I think this is dry enough to where we can rely on this kitchen regardless. And we'll just do like this. And we'll sit it right there. Fluff it out a little. We can. There's not much of it. Put a little more stuff kind of on the top-ish. Let's see how that goes. You can feed it with smalls. Some people say to get your whole fire lay set up first, but you can always get a small thing going and then just feed it up. Stuff's so dry, just not much to it. And the way it's set up now, you're not going to get the full Dakota pit effect. Because it's kind of too open. But you will get some underdraft coming in there. So that'll help. And you really see it once it burns down. And you have the fire a lot lower, closer to that hole. You'll see the air catching it. And you'll see it kind of working better like that. Right now the fire started at the top, so it's not really close to the air hole down there. And this is a wet pine cone, but I'm gonna burn it because there's mosquitoes out here and that helps deter them. And it looks like, you know, it could be fire danger because all this dry underbrush, but again, we're in a marsh, and yeah, it hasn't rained in a while, but everything's really green mixed in with the dead stuff. And there's a lot of sunlight that reaches through the canopy, which keeps the floor green. And that's always the stuff like in pine forest, because the pines block out everything and the floor is just all pine needles. That's why you get so many fires, like, you know, out in the high country in Arizona and stuff. But out here in the lowlands, the wetlands, I could intentionally set this stuff on fire. You might get a local patch to burn, but it's not going to burn beyond that. No, nothing widespread. It's just too green. Really, the only thing that's dead are small leaves and these vines. The vines actually don't burn all that great or very hot. It's flaming up good now. If you just dug a hole and put a fire in it, wouldn't burn that great. So it's definitely catching the air down there. And another nice thing about this is it's really covert. So you're getting some good flames there. And they're maybe 2 to 3 inches above the surface of the ground. That hill is blocking it from that side of you. This tree is blocking it from over there. Thick growth is blocking it there. Same on this side. So there's really no way anyone can see you. The smoke travels up and it diffuses in the leaves and the treetops. You're also burning a small fire that's burning hot, so there's not going to be a lot of smoke. Now I am concerned that rock will explode, so I'm going to step back. I was out camping once and there was like bedrock in the forest that was kind of exposed, and it had rained previously, so things were kind of damp, But it was a pine forest, so I wanted to be safe, so I set the fire up on the bedrock. And I understood the risks of rock explosions and everything. But, so I get my fire going, and of course I get it going hot, you know, I have a big bonfire going. And it sounded like gunshots when that rock blew up. And it would send burning debris flying. I remember one explosion. There's a pine tree probably 15 feet away, and it just sends like this burning piece of wood, just lands up in the pine tree. It was green, so it wasn't going to catch, but it's just amazing how powerful those rocks are when they start exploding. I wouldn't necessarily, it's not really shrapnel. I really doubt you'd get like a shard in your face or something, knock on wood, but it's just the force of it. Usually it'll send, you know, steam or whatever shooting out, and any debris will go flying, so you gotta watch out for that, especially if you have a fire danger risk. And some rocks don't explode, you know, the forest ones obviously do. These rocks out here, they seem pretty dense, so I don't really think that they'll absorb a lot of water and blow up. But you also have the rapid heat issue, which can cause them to fissure and crack. And if they do crack, that does kind of mess you up, because I did another Dakota pit video, and I had a big rock just wedged, one big rock, and it split in half, and it just kind of fell apart in there, so gotta watch out for that. So you'll have to redo it if that happens. My pill container. So we're just down to our pine cones there. I'm not even sure what this is, some pine cone of squirrel ate or something. We'll throw it in, why not? Burn green stuff. It's pretty bad when it flames up with the green. Some roots, wet roots. I'm gonna see if we can burn this down. So there is our hole. Yeah, that's definitely going to get rid of those mosquitoes. That part there sticks out, which is kind of weird. Blocks the view of the hole, but that channel goes under. It's all open over there. And you want this left side a lot bigger than the right, because that's where all the wood goes, and you just need a little bit for air over here. And you'll probably want to dig it out. Each time you use it, dig out the ash and clear the breathing hole. This is what you want with the smoke. It's staying low, diffusing through the vegetation, and it's clearing out all the mosquitoes. The wind kind of has a tendency to swirl around here, so it really will drive the bugs off in every direction. All right, that's it. We'll maybe do another follow-up on this and show any improvements I make on it. But thanks for watching.